welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I'm here today to do my October TBR. So September was a little bit difficult for me. I definitely got into a reading slump and I definitely didn't tackle a majority of the books that I wanted to. So this TBR will have a couple of those arcs that I really do want to get to before the year is over. So as of right now, it is September 28th when I'm recording this and I have not gotten to The Cabinet by Eunsu Kim and Yume by Sifton Tracy Anipare. So both of these books I will be reading in October. I'm making sure of it. And both of them have a kind of creepy vibe. Anyways, if you would like to know what they are about, I will link my September TBR up above just so you can have a brief synopsis about the two. I will also be picking up another arc that is perfect for the spooky season, and that is Paybacks, a Witch by Lana Harper. I'm really excited to pick this one up because this is a sapphic romance. So this book follows this girl named Emmy Harlow who is a witch, but not a very good one. And part of that is because she hasn't been back to her magical town of Thistle Grove. So her exile has kind of made her magical powers like inconsistent. The bottom of the synopsis says, why can't she stop thinking about the terrifyingly competent, devastatingly gorgeous, wickedly charming Talia Avramov? We're reading it. It's getting done. Next, I will be picking up A Dowry of Blood by S.D. Gibson, and I'm buddy reading this with my friend Ness. I will leave a link to their channel down below because I want them to come back, please, to YouTube. So this is a queer reimagining of Dracula and his wives. I think it follows his first wife, or one of his wives, named Constanta. She finds comfort in the arms of her rival consorts and begins to unravel her husband, Dracula, dark secrets. Again, I've only heard excellent things about this book. Apparently it's really breathtaking, engaging. It has some of the most lyrical writing people have said. Every single person I've seen pick this up has given it 5 stars. I am not expecting anything less. Very excited to get to this one. The next book is a chunker and a half, but I'm very excited to pick this up. I've been wanting to pick it up for a really long time now. This is Battle Royale by Kushan Takami, and I think it is translated by Nathan Collins. Yeah. A long time ago, like 7 or 8 years ago, I did watch the movie of Battle Royale. I picked this up a really long time ago, but I just think it's time to read the authentic text. This follows a group of junior high school students who are taken to an undisclosed island. As a part of Japan's ruthless authoritarian program, the children are provided weapons and forced to kill one another until one of them is left standing. Now, like I said, I watched the movie a long time ago. I hardly remember anything, so I have a feeling that this is gonna feel like I'm reading it for the first time, and that's really exciting to me. I love Japanese translated fiction, so I'm really looking forward to finally diving into it. I think it's the perfect one to do so because it is definitely a horror book. It's 635 pages, which isn't the longest book I've ever read, and I don't even know if it's the longest book on this TBR, to be honest. So I think I could get this done. Especially because I want to read it for a specific readathon. So I think I could do it. The next book I would like to get to is a new release this year, and it's All's Well by Mona Awad. If you didn't watch my best books of 2020, then you wouldn't know that Bunny by Mona Awad is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire existence. That was an excellent book. 0 imperfections. I'm hoping the same for this book, but I did not like Mona Awad's debut book, so I'm really hopeful, but still a little apprehensive, but I don't think Mona Awad will let me down. This book follows a woman named Miranda Fitch, whose acting career was stalled due to a tragic accident that leaves her in constant chronic pain. Now she's on the verge of losing her career as a theater director and is determined to save it by putting on Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well, which is the play that ruined her career. But her cast is hell-bent on performing Macbeth. So this like blending of Shakespearean plays is something that appeases to me. I love Shakespeare retellings. I love anything that has to do with Shakespeare. I am his hoe, and I know that Mona Awad can reel me in with a Shakespearean retelling, and having both of them there, perfection. We love it. I read Macbeth last year for Halloween, so I just feel like Macbeth is the perfect Shakespearean play for this season. So I'm really looking forward to how Mona Awan integrates it into her book. Every year in October, I do try to read one Stephen King novel, and this year I decided to pick up Salem's Lot. So from what I understand, this is Stephen King's tackle with the vampire genre. So this main character of Ben Mears has returned to Jerusalem's Lot in the hopes of exploring the history of the Marston House, which is an old mansion in the town that has like a lot of speculation and rumors around it that will help him cast out his personal devils and provide inspiration for his new book. Obviously, Stephen King always writes about a writer. But when two young boys venture into the woods and only one returns alive, Mears begins to realize that something sinister is at work. In fact, his hometown is under siege from the forces of darkness. It's a vampire novel. It's Stephen King. I'm gonna listen to this on audio. I'm probably going to enjoy this. I'm really looking forward to this. I love reading Stephen King's older work because I really enjoy looking at where he comes from. And if I'm not mistaken, this is like his second or third published book. So I'm really looking forward to picking this one up. Next, I will be picking up Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. First of all, this cover. Can we just look at it? Next, I'm going to tell you that this is a horror book. Next, I'm going to tell you that this is a sapphic horror book. And now you should understand why I'm really excited to pick this one up. The synopsis is really short, so I'm just gonna read it. It's a whirlpool of darkness churns at the heart of a macabre ballet between two young women in an internet chat room in the early 2000s, a darkness that threatens to forever transform them once they finally succumb to their most horrific desires. What have you done today to deserve your eyes? What an ending sentence to that synopsis. Captivated. I need to read this. I really don't know much else about this book, just that like a lot of people have been giving it 5 stars. Apparently it's fucking disgusting and gross and horrific, and I want to succumb myself to that. After that, we have some jollier picks for the month. So as some of you may know, if you've been watching my TBRs, I am a part of melreads' Patreon over on Discord, and every month I try to read the 2 Discord picks. Sometimes I only read 1. This month, I'm going to try to read 2. The first one is The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the finale in the City of Brass trilogy, the Daevabad trilogy, whatever it's called. Essentially, this series follows a young woman named Nari who realizes that she has certain like powers, but doesn't necessarily work to pursue them until one day she accidentally summons a deva named Dara. Dara quickly realizes that there is something special about Nari and decides to take her on a journey to the City of Brass. I am currently 200 pages into Kingdom of Copper, so if I don't succeed in finishing this in September, I will probably read it and maybe start Empire of Gold in October. So I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I'm really hoping that I do finish it in the next 2 days so that I can get Empire of Gold done this month. The next book chosen for the book club is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but I am very excited to read this book. This is a historical fiction fantasy type of book that has been on my radar for a really long time. It takes place in Barcelona in 1945 and follows a young boy named Daniel who is the son of an antique book dealer. One day he finds comfort in a book called The Shadow of the Wind, but when he seeks out to find other works from this author, he quickly realizes that something is amiss. Someone has been destroying every copy of every book that this author has written. And I have never ever seen a bad review for this book, so I am really hyped to read this. I'm in the mood for historical fiction. The colder weather makes me in the mood for historical fiction. This also, I think, surrounds a murder as well. So I also forgot to mention that this is also my choice for the Buzzword Readathon, which is hosted by Books and Lala every month. And this month, the buzz theme is surrounding elements. Wind is an element, it's air, so therefore I will be reading it for this. After that, I will also be participating in a book club for my friend Danny over at Current Chapter on her Discord, and it goes perfectly with my Brandon Sanderson project for the year. This is Skyward by him. Last month, I did read A Way of Kings, and I feel like I couldn't jump right away into Words of Radiance, so I think that this is the perfect palette cleanser. This is his YA sci-fi series that follows a young girl named Spencer who just wants to follow in her father's footsteps and pilot a ship to defeat an alien race that has been attacking their planet. Unfortunately for Spencer, her father did something absolutely unforgivable, and I believe that he abandons his crew or abandons his ship, but Spencer will not let that deter her, and she is determined to help save her planet. I love Brandon Sanderson. We all know this. I obviously want to read everything he's ever written, so I will definitely be picking up this month. A lot of people I know seem to really enjoy this book, so I'm hoping to be one of them, and I do think that I will really enjoy this. I think this will be my first dive into Brandon Sanderson's YA works, so I'm really excited to see the difference between his writing style when comparing his adult books to his young adult books. So looking forward to that. The last book I would like to read this month is The Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder by Joanne Fluke. This series I actually used to read when I was in high school, and I was like thinking that I was really cool reading adult murder mysteries. So this series follows Hannah Swenson, who is the owner and baker of the cookie jar, but at night or seemingly randomly, Hannah Swenson gets swept up into these murder investigations. And this series starts out because one of the delivery men that Hannah really likes ends up being found murdered in her bakery. I remember absolutely loving this series. It's a cozy mystery, so I'm definitely really excited to include this into my October TBR. And finally, the last book I will be reading in October is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the third book in her Cassie Blake series, and Cassie Blake is the daughter of two ghost hunters who have their own TV show and kind of travel to the world's most haunted cities in order to kind of debunk or find some ghosts. But what her parents don't know is that Cassidy Blake can see ghosts. In fact, one of her best friends is one, and it is due to the fact that one day Cassidy had fallen into a lake and almost died, and therefore she is able to bridge the gap between the human world and the ghost world. This series is a middle grade, but fuck man, is it spooky sometimes. I'm very excited to read this installment because I think it takes place in New Orleans. Yep, New Orleans is one of my favorite cities to read about, so very excited to pick this one up. But these are all the books I want to read in the month of October. If you have read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought about them. If you're wondering how these books will affect my Thrillathon TBR, you will just have to keep a lookout for that vlog. But if you would like to follow me on any of my other platforms, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It makes me feel really good and does wonders for my channel. That's it. I don't know how to end these things, so I'm wishing you a happy spooky season, a happy October, and I'll see you next time. Bye!